Good morning. It's Wednesday, November 5th, 2014. This is Tech Talk Today, episode 86, and my name is Chris.
And I'm Angela.
Hey there, Ange. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I like your scarf this morning.
Yeah.
You look like an animal.
It's a leopard scarf.
Are you ready to be an animal on the news today?
Yeah.
Go animal style? All right, well, to help us go animal style is Angela's assembled team of internet superheroes. Time-appropriate greetings. Mumble Room.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Specifically, Lionhead could probably help with the animal.
Yeah.
I didn't have a joke for the morning, dang it.
I'm sorry.
I was unprepared.
You want us to start over? We can start over. We'll start the show over again. It'll be fun.
I'm just joking.
All right, so let's start our morning with a surprise. I definitely didn't.
No.
I didn't see this coming. Did you see this coming?
No.
Microsoft and Dropbox are BFFs and form a surprise partnerships for Office integration. Actually goes way beyond that. Microsoft and Dropbox are teaming up today to more closely integrate Dropbox into Office. In this partnership, you will be able to directly access your Dropbox from within the Office desktop, mobile, and web applications across all of Microsoft's products, which is pretty interesting since Microsoft has a competing OneDrive service. Oh, man, my auto-scroll extension. I missed that. So anyways, Dropbox is also going to add options in its mobile Dropbox apps and in its web interface so that if you have a doc...
Wait. Did Dropbox just like literally hand the keys to Microsoft to all the information that's stored in Dropbox?
No.
Oh,
no, they have an API to do
just
this.
Just an integration?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it goes on... So you'll be able to open and close Office documents in Office out of Dropbox. So you'll be able to go into Office, say open from Dropbox, right? But also now when you're in Dropbox on the mobile app or the web application, you'll be able to click on a document in your Dropbox and say open in Microsoft Office Online. It'll open it up in Microsoft's online editor right from Dropbox, and then it'll save it back to Dropbox.
That is kind of cool because I have been out and about and wanted to edit a Microsoft document that's in my Dropbox, and I haven't been able to.
Directly, they think they might even integrate like the Office editor right into the Dropbox web UI at some point. Now think about this though. This is a huge blocker for Google, right? This is to block Google out of Dropbox, right? This is to because this would have been a great feature for Google Docs.
Well, doesn't Microsoft already have SkyDrive?
Right.
So how's this?
Yep.
Are they
OneDrive.
OneDrive? Are they competing with themselves now? What's going on?
Yes, in a way, but I think it's more of a defensive move to lock Google out.
Well, I think it's more along the lines of large companies that want to use Office for whatever reason, but have all their files and content stored in Dropbox. This is a great way for them to integrate both.
Yeah, well, Microsoft tossed out a crazy stat about how many documents are in Dropbox. I'm trying to look for the number now, but yeah, here it is. 35 billion Office documents are currently stored on the Dropbox service.
Wow. Yeah, so Google, like the whole, I don't understand their, it's hard for me to formulate this, obviously. I don't like the way Google does it anyway.
You don't like the way Docs works anyway?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Because the nice thing about this system is those docs would then be on your hard drive too.
Right.
Because it's part of Dropbox.
Yeah.
Whereas with Google Docs, you have to install their Drive
cloud
thing.
Yeah, and you have to export as, and and that's a pain in the butt. But yeah, so it might have been good for Google, but although I wouldn't have seen this coming either.
They have to be on your hard drive. Could you surely, if it's using the Dropbox API, you could be at a computer and have stuff that's not synced down to your local computer, and say open that document that's been shared with you, but isn't actually on your hard drive.
They're talking about integrating it right into the web page. So you could just log into the Dropbox web page, or you have the mobile app. They're talking about integrating the mobile app. And if you do this feature, you don't have to have an Office 365 or whatever it is subscription. You just get access right to the Word editor. It's pretty cool.
Sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so
it make a lot of sense on mobile too, especially those that want to edit documents on the go but have those documents stored in Dropbox. Then they'll be able to open up and say Word or Office on the iPad.
So
it would open Safari, right?
Yeah,
the web version.
Yeah. So this is sort of like Google. This is sort of I really think this is Microsoft. I mean, we've been talking about signs of Microsoft thinking outside the box. They are competing with themselves, and on the face of it, that seems really strange here. But I think it's a lock-in maneuver, and it shows them sort of being willing to work outside their playground. I think it's pretty interesting, and I think it's a huge win for Dropbox. It's going to make Dropbox a lot more functional.
It does sound negative in the freedom dimension, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It does seem like a step backwards, but I think it's going to be handy for a lot of people.
Well, it's Microsoft trying to make sure that when people are moving to the web for their applications, that Office is still extremely relevant. And, I think Microsoft truly realizes that Office is going to have to become, and it's going to have to stay their bread and butter in the cloud, and they're going to have to work with storage services like this.
Oh, I think Microsoft thinking inside the box is a good title. Or inside the Dropbox.
Microsoft thinking inside the Dropbox. Something like that. There's a title in there. Bang suggests that.
Keep suggesting titles.
All right, so but
who knows? Maybe. One last thing I just want to throw in. Maybe totally. Microsoft is willing to acquire Dropbox if their partnership continues.
Ooh,
embrace, extend, extinguish.
Interesting theory. And as every platform now has their own syncing system, Dropbox is sort of becoming more and more commoditized.
Yeah, it's Microsoft on the prowl, and then they'll go in for the
That would be
kill.
A huge get for Microsoft. Because, and you know what? One thing I definitely noticed trending at my clients when I was wrapping up is a lot of end users were just installing Dropbox on their corporate computers to bypass restrictions that IT put in place. So it actually has a pretty big presence in corporate computers, which is Microsoft's playground too. Ooh, good speculation. I like that. Let's see if that happens. That's a good Redbook prediction. But not all bad news for Google. They just scored another major licensing deal, this one with LG. You might remember they just did a big cross-patent licensing agreement. I think it was with Samsung semi-recently for like 10 years. Well, it's not just Samsung anymore. LG has entered into a cross-licensing deal with Google that will let the two companies use each other's patents, including all of their new ones, for the next 10 years. The two sides are coy about what exactly they have in the works, but a lot of people also seem to agree that this is sort of a way that Google can ensure that LG stays on the Android bandwagon for the future.
LG being little girls, right?
No, the electronics manufacturer.
I know. What does it stand for?
I don't know if it probably might stand for something.
I'm sure it does.
It might. It might not. I don't know. It's
I used to know what it was, but I can't remember.
I think their full name is like they have.
Well, what is the company? Because
Lucky Gold Star.
Yeah, I like that.
The whole thing went over my head because I have no idea who LG is.
They make some great.
Their slogan is "Life's good."
They make some. Yeah, that's kind of reasonable. They make
Wow,
great.
that clears it up, Eric. Thanks.
I know that is kind of a rough slogan. They're in a sense they're kind of like Samsung, where they make everything. They make refrigerators. They make televisions. They make monitors. They make some really good Android phones.
I wonder why I don't know about them.
They're
probably bigger in Europe than they are in the States, I think.
Okay.
There's quite a bit of like when you're like looking at TVs and stuff, you come across their name quite a bit and stuff like that. But you don't really look at.
No,
Kobe is right though. It is Lucky Gold Star, and
okay.
Yeah,
for real.
More specifically in Korean.
That sounds like something.
Song.
Yeah, it's a Korean company, right?
Yes.
Sounds like a name Britney Spears would have come up with.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
I get the feeling we're going to see Android TV being integrated into LG TVs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
yeah, in
like a good step.
There was a Google spokesperson who said that a lot of the Nexus TV components are going to be built into a lot of television sets that we're going to hear about at CES. Now, funny enough, Eric Schmidt made that same promise like 2 years ago, but this, now they actually have a shipping device. So I bet you're right. I bet LG is going to be a key player with the whole Nexus TV strategy. And so far the reviews suck, so we'll see how that works out for them. I'll tell you what doesn't suck, supporting the Jupiter Broadcasting Network over at patreon.com/today.
Aw.
I know we dropped down a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's sad to see. And we got some cool ideas for the future too that we're working on. But that's you know what? You can go over there to patreon.com/today and pledge your amount that you can afford. We have a $3 suggestion in there. And we also have some swag levels and other things down towards the bottom you can take a look at.
I'd just like to point out that is, not that we buy coffee, but that's like one coffee a month. Like if you normally get a coffee, you could bypass coffee while you listen to your Tech Talk today.
Yeah.
And support the show.
Patreon.com/today. You support all of the shows on the network and help us invest in our future and help us sort of leverage this against having to go with too many commercials and things like that in our other shows. And it also keeps the show ad-free. All right, Dangers. Let's talk about some little. Did you hear about this story?
No, I didn't. Surprisingly,
really?
I know. I've only read that first paragraph.
I'm actually extremely shocked you did not hear
Me
about this because you're so savvy about this.
I know.
All right.
Although I had a long day out of the house yesterday, so
it's been going on for a couple of days.
Yeah, just yesterday was really busy.
Okay. All right. Mumbleworm, did you guys hear about this story about this monument in Russia that's getting torn down of Steve Jobs because Tim Cook came out as gay? Anybody hear about this?
Yeah.
No, I live in a pole.
So this was making the round. So Tim Cook came out as gay recently, earlier this week. And the next day, there was a story about a monument of Steve Jobs being torn down in Russia. And it didn't quite pass the sniff test. And so now the folks over at Cult of Mac did a little digging around. And it's interesting how much traction the story got. I saw it was on basically every tech news site. I was a little tempted to cover it because of how big the story got. And here is even a video of the monument getting torn down. It's actually shaped as an iPhone. But if you actually study the video, you might notice that these guys don't look like protesters ripping down a monument. They kind of look like workers disassembling the monument.
Yeah.
It actually turns out Cult of Mac did what's called some investigative journalism and contacted the university this was at. And they had distributed notices on the campus the day before Tim Cook even came out that they were going to be disassembling the monument because the screen broke. And so the university's response is, why would we take down a monument of Steve Jobs because Tim Cook's gay?
Yeah.
Right? Which is why I never passed the sniff test.
Sense.
So then they also, Cult of Mac also interviewed students on the campus to find out if they had heard what was up. They did note anti-American sentiment and people that really hated Apple because they're an American company, so there's definitely some of that going on. But students at the college also confirmed that the giant iPhone statue wasn't working properly and that its removal was a result of the fact that it was failing, not because of some anti-gay law or something like that. But you see sometimes a story like that, even in the tech press, gets twisted for a political agenda. And it just takes one site to just call them and get the answers, and it busts that story. And that was a top story for the last 2 days in the tech press. So
I honestly like it when I see stories like that just kind of busted wide open saying, no, that is not the reason they did it.
Yeah, I don't think the correction is going to get much coverage.
Oh, no, not at all, because it's not sensational as... Yeah.
Just like the Ebola and how nobody actually has it, except for the person that died from it.
I like calling it the Ebola. That's nice. Well, you mean people in Africa have it.
Well, no, I meant in the United States.
So let's talk about...
And let me just... If you don't know that that's the case, then you need to watch Unfiltered.
Let's talk about the class action suit that might be coming towards CVS and Rite Aid with their refusal to support Apple Pay. This is a law firm is looking into filing a class action suit against the retailers blocking Apple Pay. If filed, the suit targets both CVS and Rite Aid, both of which disabled NFC payment systems to take out all NFC payments, not just Apple Pay. Yeah. We'll see if it actually happens, but they're looking into it. They think that the MCX members, that's the people that are all in the currency consortium, might be violating antitrust laws.
Yeah, this whole thing is just crazy.
We'll see. This also could just be a law firm trying to get some publicity. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what
it sounds like to me is that it's not really a law firm trying to get publicity, but at the same time, they're trying to cut out a whole bunch of people just because they don't want to have that competing technology.
And Firefox just crashed on me.
Oh.
I think that's the end of the Firefox challenge right there. I mean, really. Couldn't even make it through a single episode.
Chrome and Chromium have never, ever crashed on you.
No, not really. I mean, they do, but not usually during a show like that. Yeah. I just changed tabs and it crashed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you still have the...
Yeah, well, luckily, I opened up the last 2 tabs in Chrome just in case Firefox took a crap on me. So we have our Kickstarter of the week. Now, the subreddit voted. And I think this one might be up your alley, Ange.
Okay.
You know what? I realized our subreddit was being extremely pragmatic because it was robot warriors that can battle each other or something that makes your camera more awesome. And they went with something that makes your camera more awesome. I think it's called Lumera, is how you say it. It transforms your camera into the smartest one. And they got a great little Kickstarter video, so why don't we play it?
Okay.
And I might have to do a little narration for you audio listeners at the beginning because it's just audio at first, but it starts with the camera.
Transform your camera into the smartest
Oh, it's
one?
talking. Oh yeah, this is the part that's only music. So you got a dude, he's got like a pretty nice looking SLR camera and he's taking some nice outdoorsy pictures and you notice he's got something attached to the bottom. And you see a Twitter, a Facebook, and a Dropbox icon on a little LCD screen.
I want that.
So he just
you
hit
know what?
Twitter.
I can wait. I can wait until I get home to my computer. I don't need to be like, I am standing at this tree right now.
Well, he might do other stuff too. You just wait and see.
I need that wearable camera.
Now, this is neat. See, so he's doing remote viewing and remote shutter from his smartphone. That's nice, right? So he can take the picture from his smartphone.
Okay.
He can remotely edit the settings like the shutter speed, the ISO, the focus, the zoom, the white balance, the aperture.
And set his location.
That's like tethering, take them to the next level.
He can do time lapses. He can also tag the GPS locations.
Was that using Bluetooth?
Yeah, it's using Bluetooth LE. So wireless controls, which are super cool.
Yeah, wireless controls.
That is,
really
look, he's
cool.
setting the timer there. He's using it from his Nexus 5.
Wow.
I love that he's doing wireless controls while standing right next to the camera.
I know.
Lazy git.
But, maybe he doesn't want to bump it, right? He doesn't want to bump the camera.
Yeah, especially if you're doing a time lapse like he was doing.
Oh my gosh.
You don't want to bump the thing.
I love those little symbols. I want a little
Today
Wi-Fi
we share
symbol.
photos in two ways. You take a photo, you share it, which is fast, but the phone optics are poor. Or you do it with great interchangeable lenses, you reach your laptop, you download, you share. It's a slow process, but image quality is great.
Like an animal.
Combining both ways, your camera and Lumira becomes the first solution with which you can share faster while keeping high image quality.
That's a great way to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
Lumira has a lot of cool features. With the help of your phone, Lumira will share your photos from your camera to the social networks you love at any moment, any place. You can upload photos from your camera to cloud services.
Now, they're also going to talk about the GPS tagging that's in this, but you're starting to get the idea. And it's a pretty small little dongle. It just fits right, looks like, into maybe the tripod mount even.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
I like the Dropbox functionality, too.
So your camera has to be able to talk to it, right?
I don't know, I guess. Yeah, I guess you'd have to have a camera that supports control. How would that work?
Allows adding location to your photos
I bet you could just USB plug it.
Yeah, maybe.
But they show it just
Forget the place
like almost magnet stings attaching to it.
You'll be able to attach your current location to
Well, you know what I'm thinking is maybe there is a special SD card inside that actually does all the communication.
With Lumira, you can also wirelessly change camera parameters like aperture, focus, and others, shoot photos, and create amazing time lapses from your phone. Lumira is the first device that is capable of saving photos and videos from your camera to any USB drive.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Just a nice big old 64 gig thumb drive or something.
Do you like editing your recently taken photos? You can choose your favorite.
So what do you think, Ange? This is something that, do you think maybe, I bet you if we, here, I'll check out their Kickstarter page, and we'll have a link to the Kickstarter if you want. In fact, I should give you some of the vitals, too. They're looking for 90,000 Canadian. They have 40,000 Canadian right now, I believe. 34 days to go. Lumira Labs is the company out of Montreal, Canada. And so I'm looking to see if they have information on here about the interface. In my Chrome browser.
You know, I have my camera that I use. It supports Wi-Fi.
There's that cord that I was talking about.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that. Yeah, I'm seeing the USB cord. Yeah, that definitely looks like it.
Yeah.
That's okay though. That might be how you power it too.
They conveniently left that out of their equations.
Yeah, they did. You're right. You can wirelessly stream live video or your live view to your iOS or Android device.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah.
Wow. Well, and so, but if it uses wireless, then you're tethering it with your phone.
Here's what's so cool. So the phone is doing it over Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, but you can do pinch to zoom on your cell phone, and it will zoom the camera.
No way.
Yeah, and you can tap to focus, and it does the focus in the camera. Yeah, that's really.
Wouldn't do it for mine because my zoom is mechanical.
Such a party pooper, Eric.
Sorry.
So here we go. Camera body integration. Lumira integrates with your camera body by attaching to the tripod thumb screw and connecting through the USB port.
Wait, so if it's using the tripod thumb screw, then you cannot mount your camera on a tripod.
No, because then they have a
it has another one underneath it.
That's pretty common. So, yeah, you just stack it.
Okay, yeah, sure.
You stack that S. Yeah, so there you go. Look at this. This is really well thought out.
You've seen their 120K stretch goal is to make it controllable from your smartwatch or Pebble.
Wow.
That'd be awesome.
And I like that, here he is, a second USB port. It comes with a second USB port so you can save photos directly to a drive. That's pretty cool. One-click social posting, secondary USB port, MIPS processor, GPS battery.
So they're currently at 40,000 Canadian, which is 43% of their goal. And according to KickTrack, they're heading towards 205,000 Canadian, which is 220% of their goal.
So they're on the right track. That's really
open source.
Cool.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And open hardware.
Yeah. This is
wow.
This is really cool. I like that.
It is cool, but there's no editing of the photos involved there.
Unless you move it over.
Do it on the phone.
Yeah, unless you move over your phone and do it on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would work for you though. I like this a lot. I think this is really cool.
This would work for me.
Yeah, open hardware, open source. I like all of this. This would even have the components broken out here. This is a neat product.
This would take my pro photography to a new level.
So it sounds
I'm serious.
Sounds like the jury is positive on it. What do you say, Judge?
Nope.
Whoa! Are you kidding?
What?
I don't know that there's anything that has to be posted that fast.
Here's the thing about that, Angela. It's not about posting it. It's about also doing all the other functions, like being able to geotag it.
Yeah, that's nice.
And also be able to store it to another location. Like, for instance, my memory card can run really full of raw images real fast unless I have a place to store it.
The biggest benefit I could see is the remote control from your phone.
I guess here's my problem with it. It seems like give us 2 years and all of this is built into a camera. Right? Because they just need to put a Wi-Fi and a Bluetooth LE chip in there.
We're already pausing and playing our Roku from our phones just by downloading a remote app. So, totally.
Exactly. You'll download a remote app for your camera. It'll connect over Bluetooth, and this is a super great product, especially for those of you that have maybe invested thousands of dollars or hundreds and hundreds of dollars into a glass and a body. Then this makes something you've already invested in that you already love and know how to use better. But for those like me who can't get off the pot, although I was thinking...
Well, and you don't carry around a tripod either. Your camera won't sit on a flat surface once you attach that thing to it, honestly, unless you have an iPod.
This stuff, tripod. This stuff like GPS tagging and Wi-Fi syncing and all of that is one of the reasons why I haven't really wanted to get myself a camera yet, because I know I want these things. But then I'm like, I'm not getting great pictures of my kids, so it sucks.
For me, here's what I'm thinking. Remote shutter control is huge, because like most of my shots, my best shots are landscape shots. Even though I don't put that much effort or thought into them, this would bring that to the next level so I could do those remote shots very well and do those time-lapse shots.
Boom, there you go. Yeah, I can totally see how that would be a good help. And we'll have a link to this in the show notes.
Thanks, Creepy Uncle, for suggesting mount your camera to an iPod.
iPod.
I accidentally said that instead of tripod.
You did?
Yeah, he totally...
Wow, caught you.
Yeah.
Called you out.
Wow.
All right, so there you go. That'll bring us to the end of today's episode. Everything we talked about, we got links in the show notes. And if you'd like to join us, boy, that sure would be fancy.
Yeah. And this Sunday is a Mumble edition of Faux Show.
Mm-hmm. So join us in
Mumble Room.
Mumble Room. Show up on Sunday after last to participate.
It will be a topic all of you would be interested in, and all of you will have input on it. I'm positive.
Is the topic Mumble by any chance?
No. But I just remember what it is. I actually completely agree.
Yeah,
totally will.
Yep.
So if you want to know about our Mumble Room, go over to jblive.tv, join the embedded chat room, and bang Mumble. That's !Mumble, and our bot will tell you the address. And then you can join us. They just do a little mic check, and you can hang out. Now, if you can't make it live, that's cool. Maybe you could still participate. Go to techtalktoday.reddit.com, submit stories, comment, vote things up or down. That helps me figure out what to cover in this here show. Now, maybe if you're not going to get yourself that fancy Lumia remote control for your camera, you could save all that money and get yourself a great video game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the brand new version of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. See you tomorrow.
You are playing with power. Punch-Out by Nintendo. Play with power. 11 world-class contenders. Take them down with your controller, beat them all, and you've got a shot at Tyson's title. Play. Power. But for that, you've got to beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.